Hello from this beautiful location in Menorca. I'm here with an entrepreneur, Joel van der Molen. And the reason I'm here is to do some business coaching, relationship coaching, family coaching, financial coaching, and truly get to the depth of Joel and how I can support him to really realize his big vision and his big dream. Joel, can you tell the audience a bit more? What is this experience for you like?
Well, what is this experience like? Well, I feel very, very fortunate. I was thinking that yesterday, actually, because obviously this is an amazing place to be, but to actually be going through what we are doing in this type of place, even though it's challenging at times, and I think, oh, I just wanted to be on holiday, but this is more than that. This is something very, very special, and I'm so fortunate to do that. And just to be in this kind of a surroundings is fabulous. The sun's gone down now.
So, in this kind of surroundings, being able to experience, to have your personal coach to support you in your growth, what is the number one thing that the first day that we started your process that you got from?
Well, it's starting to unravel the blockages that are stopping that kind of progression in business and in life. I always look back on when I was young, when I was 7, and up until the age of about 14, and certainly being in this place, this was something I loved. I loved being on holiday. I was fortunate enough to come here every year for 6 weeks a year, and I always felt very good here. I always felt very grounded, and it's about getting back to feeling that way, because I've been missing that, and I've been searching for that. I've been looking for that, and that's why it's so good again to be doing this here. Mm-hmm. So when we go in and we peel off those layers of cut through the crap,
yep,
get rid of the dirt, dig it all out of the way, and what are we revealing underneath? And it's just enlightening.
Yep.
It's magnificent. It's difficult to put into words, and I do find it sometimes complicated to put into words the kind of feelings that you get, the kind of light bulb moments that you get when you have a great idea or when you see something clearly. Mm-hmm. And I love that, I really do.
So you're talking about those light bulb moments.
Yeah.
Now, how important it is to have somebody, like to have your own coach to be able to reach those light bulb moments? Why wouldn't you be able to do them on your own?
Well, you can do some on your own, and reading books, for example, I've had these kind of exciting moments or realizations, or you find it through, times when you're alone, or you can find it just driving in the car and get this kind of dash of inspiration, which is described as the super consciousness giving you this idea, but you're only ever going to find 10% of that. It's got to come from someone else. It takes to come from you to actually point out all the blind spots that are going on in my business, in my life, mm-hmm, in relationships. You can't get that from a book. You can work on yourself to a certain point, but it takes that other person to be your mirror.
To be your mirror, absolutely. So it's quite astonishing to just really observe you and observe the business, observe the relationship you have with your family, and also observe you as a unity, and actually being able to look at areas in your life that really prevent you from speaking your truth.
Totally, yeah.
How important is in business to be able to be authentic and truthful?
Saves time.
Mm-hmm. What else?
It helps you win more business with confidence. People have more confidence in you when you speak your truth. This is why people, as I say, like Simon Cowell. When you look at X Factor in the UK or the other shows, certainly with this one, everybody waits to hear what Simon Cowell has to say. Now, and whenever he speaks, they say yes, because he is speaking the truth from himself, and this is why he's so successful and worth 400 million or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So people love to hear the truth. When you can access that truth in business, in life, people just love that. They cling on to that.
So we're going about the importance of truth in the business and the growth of the business. But I find it very fascinating about when I work with entrepreneurs, especially, as you know, I just got back from South Africa coaching another entrepreneur there for a week. And here I am coaching you for 2 weeks. What I find it fascinating about the journey of each of my clients, how they really started to really be able to come to this point where most people can't really afford to take their coach on holiday. So tell me about how did you really went from working in this bar. We're actually here at a place where Joel used to work when he was young. And it's actually fascinating for me just to observe all the places where you grew up and coming back as a successful entrepreneur and being able to reflect all those emotions. So how did you really start in your business and really bring it to this point where now I'm helping you, support you, really take it to the next level?
Well, it's exactly that. That's what I was looking for, and it's what we all do. We all always try to get to that next level. I guess it's just our way of being. That's we're always looking for progression. I mean, I was happy. I remember making here, for example, where I was working, I was making £500 a month. And then when I was in the UK, I was making £1,000 a month. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great to make £2,000 a month? And then I was thinking, oh, you know, £4,000 would be great. And then, you know, you pass that and you think, well, if I could have £8,000, then £10,000, then £20,000, then £30,000 a month. You're coming in, and then, you know, and you think, oh, you know, £100,000 a month. And I know what you're all thinking now. You're thinking, how much is Joel van der Molen earning? It continues to go up and up. The next stage is £1 million a month. That's where we're aiming for. But to do something like that, you've got to get. It's about finding what they're doing, finding what these people are doing. Because you look at all these people and all this money that's happening around you, and people enjoying this kind of lavish lifestyle, and you think, what is the missing piece? This was certainly how it was happening for me. I was at a low point. I went to drama school, and I was an out of work actor. I did Edinburgh shows. I was a pesto sauce for Jamie Oliver, and I was a hamburger for Burger King, and it wasn't really making the money. And I was at a very low point, and I started from real zero. You know, I had successful parents, but they never handed me money. They never gave me any handouts. I knew I had to make everything on my own, and it was just slowly building and building and building into 5 years of having Vandercom to get to where it is now, by servicing as many people as possible. There's a famous quote by Zig Ziglar that I love, which is, if you help enough people get what they want, you can have everything that you want. And that's really what I live by in business. But in terms of what you mentioned about breaking through and getting to that next level, because otherwise I would get comfortable in this kind of, oh, you know, I've got a nice life, I've got cash flow, and that's what everybody sort of likes, that feeling of, you know, I don't have to get up and go to and worry about being paid, or I don't have to get up to an alarm clock. I mean, that's a certain breakthrough. But to get to that next stage, that's where you instruct a coach, and you ask up, and you say, deliver me that mentor, that guide, and that's truly what I did. And then in March 2015, I was at a talk at the Be Inspired, and on stage you were, and I started to read the book. I mean, I read many books, and every time I read a book, I think, this is the best book I've ever. I can't believe it. I always do that. I always do that when I read books. But then I picked up A Path to Wisdom, and I started reading this book, and I got through it, and I thought, hang on a minute. This is, you talk about light bulb moments. This was like electricity flowing through me, and that's truly it. Just every word just beautifully resonated with my entire being of where I was. And every time I read back on it now, it's sort of I pick it up, and there's another part which reflects exactly where I am at that point. And I just thought, this is absolutely incredible. So I messaged you, and we met, and I remember meeting you, and I was just like, oh my God, you know, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. I was, you know, and you were like, yeah, I know. But I was like, no, seriously, this is amazing. And and then we started our journey into where we're coming now and to coming away.
Yeah. Now, what I observe with all of that is I've been observing really your entire life. Because there's a lot of people out there who would employ a business coach or mentor or relationship coach or anything like that. So, in your opinion, how important it is the integration of all of that to work with somebody who can support you in all 8 key areas of your life? In your spiritual development, in your mental agility, in your emotional development, in your business, in your finances, in your love, in relationship, and building a career and vision.
The 8 key areas in life. I mean, when I started out with you, I thought primarily it was for business reasons and financial gains. It went into absolutely every single area because everything is connected. Everything that we do, every word, the words we use, the thoughts we use, how our family relationships help us in business, how everything is interlinked, and it sort of went from thinking it was just business into really about me, everything about me and how I am with people, how I communicate, how I listen, and how more specifically how I don't listen to other people. What did you say? And
that's what I do, by the way, guys. You know, I hold all of my clients accountable for every single word they speak. And words do have certain energy and they do have a lot of power. Now, what I've been picking up with you and your wife, it's quite a lot of the subconscious part of your speech